seeing all this snow was just kind of freaking all of us out just a little bit. Well, welcome y'all to the Ladies Lounge. I'm your host, Wanda Lowe. Man, I actually got out in the snow today. Now, I have a group of friends, and they shall remain nameless, and they know who they are, who prayed for us to get snow. Well,
I
I
know
don't.
exactly who you talk
You
about.
know who I'm talking about. I don't live in Little Rock anymore. So I politely asked them when they were praying to make sure they prayed that it hit Little Rock, not big. So apparently they didn't pray in the right direction because I'm in Benton and I got snow. And I asked y'all nicely,
Okay.
keep that mess in Little Rock, but y'all didn't do
Right.
it. But you know what? I'm not mad at them. It's beautiful outside. It is cold, but it is beautiful outside. And like I said, we got out for a few minutes today. I had to go to the store to pick up some stuff. So I got a chance to kind of ride and see. Now, I'll tell you this, if you do not have to go out, please don't. The roads are fair on the main arteries, the main, busier streets are kind of clear, but the little side roads, mostly where we live in the neighborhoods, they are not clear. And yeah, folks are in ditches and on the side of the road and all that stuff. So
Right.
if you don't have to get out, don't get out. Aside from that, it's just cold. Why you need to go outside anyway? Stay in the house and stay
Right. Stay
warm.
now.
Read a book, do something, but don't go outside. Just stay in the house. Now, earlier I was listening to Mayor Scott in Little Rock, and even though I don't live in Little Rock and I have family there and everything and friends and whatever, I still keep up what goes on around wherever. And Mayor Scott was on with the city of Little Rock, and he kind of gave an update on the road conditions and the same thing. Of course, they're going to tell us all to stay in the house and be careful if you do have to go out and go to work or whatever it is. If it's an emergency, use precaution, because although this is that nice powdery white, really fluffy, good snow, there can, since we did have some sunlight today, we do have some patches that might be a little bit dangerous. So please, if you don't have to go out, just don't. We enjoy the snow, and you little snow prayer people.
The praying snow people.
You praying snow people. And I know y'all didn't mean no harm, but the sad part is we do have to think about our homeless population, and we do have to, think about them having some place to go and some shelter during this time. So I do really appreciate the city of Little Rock. The mayor of Little Rock is trying to make preparation to help people get to emergency shelter if they need it. I'm assuming, and I'm going to say this, and I'll send y'all to this page, and it's not there, I apologize, but if you do need to find shelter, or you need to know some more information about the shelters that are open and the different organizations that are providing emergency shelter, then check out the City of Little Rock's Facebook page or their website. They'll probably have a list there. So just be careful. Again, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. Pay attention to energy. It's been very nice in sending text messages to tell us to make sure you don't need them. Setting your thermostat to 68. Now, let me explain something to y'all. Because I read some posts where folks going, I ain't setting no thermostat on 68. Okay, 68 in most houses is not really cold. It's not warm, but it's not really cold. I'm going to tell y'all what my grandma used to tell us. Put some clothes on. You can put the thermostat at 68, but you have to be dressed. Put some clothes on. You can put an extra pair of socks on. I know y'all saying one night sit up in the house with not all these clothes on. But I'm just telling y'all, would you rather have the rolling blackouts, or would you rather put on some clothes? I'm sitting in the house. See, I got on my low shirt, and I ain't gonna tell you, I have a shirt on under this shirt.
Right.
But now my thermostat
Right.
Freezing, because guess what? I don't want the rolling blackouts. I don't want to have to lose power. So if it means that it's going to keep our power on a little bit longer, we're going to turn off these lights. We're going to turn this thermostat down. I like the fact he said, cook what you're going to cook, but cook it at a low temperature and cook it fast. So that means go in there, and if you can, the smartest thing, put a bunch of stuff in the oven at one time and just cook it and get it over with. Because that's what we've been doing for a couple of days. Just cook small meals or however much. Just put it in the oven and let it cook for a little while and be done with it. And then turn your lights off. Sit down and watch Netflix and be quiet. Get your blanket, get on your couch, and be quiet. So we keep these lights on, y'all. So that's my whole my PSA. That's my soapbox for this evening. Is turn them lights off, put some clothes on, turn that thermostat down, go on ahead, cook your food, cook some extra food just in case the power does go off and you already got something done. And y'all know what's the old thing? Everybody go to the store and get three things. You got milk, egg, and bread. Boil your eggs ahead of time.
Right.
Now I'm gonna tell you something that's funny. Do you know somebody had to explain to me the egg thing? I understood the bread and the milk. I never understood the egg. And my cousin was like, "You so stupid." I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because you just boil the eggs and put them in the refrigerator." So I'm sitting here going, "Who just want a whole bunch of boiled eggs?" But then I thought about it. It's food. I'm like, that's why folks go out and buy all the eggs.
Right.
They just boiling the eggs. So boil your eggs in the refrigerator.
Right.
Get your meat, make your sandwiches, get you something to drink, get your shoes on, put your socks on, and put your long sleeve shirt on. Then sit down somewhere with your blanket so we don't have to get these lights turned off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the midst of all this, you all know we are still in the middle of a pandemic. So we still have to social distance. And here now, we were talking the other day, and I'm hoping and praying. I did not get a chance to see I think the press update for the day to see what the COVID numbers were. But I'm hoping and praying because it is so cold that maybe it kills the germs a little bit more. People are not able to go out and be around everybody so much. But maybe it will slow down to where maybe we can come out of this thing a little sooner than what we were hoping that we would. So that means that even if you do have to go out, wash your hands still, make sure you're wearing your mask, and still practice social distancing. Because, we've been in this now, next month will be a year that we've literally been in the house. And that's very odd and it's very hard. And I know with the snow happening, we talk a lot about mental health. And we've had several shows about mental health in the last couple of months because when the pandemic first hit, it was the fear of this unknown disease that we couldn't see, but we know people are dying. And we know that people are, constantly getting sick. Well, now, couple that with you being stuck in the house now because there's snow on the ground. And Arkansas is not like every place else. We are not Chicago. We are not Kansas City. We're not anywhere else. When it snows, we shut it down. We in the house. So that adds to that stress of us all being inside so long. So make sure that we're checking on our elderly people, our relatives, our neighbors, our friends, and making sure that they're okay because, again, we've already been stuck in the house because of the pandemic. Now we're in the house because of the snow. And my understanding is from the weather forecast, we're supposed to get another round coming through tonight and I think tomorrow. So if you have elderly neighbors, you have elderly relatives, elderly friends, please make sure that you at least call and just check and make sure that they're okay, that they're warm, that everything is okay at their house. Make sure that you're leaving your water dripping at night so that you don't get the frozen pipe things. We have a couple of folks that have had some issues with that. So make sure you're doing all those things. And then we're just taking care of each other and staying prayerful. We have a lot of people, and this is something that's been really painful for me to see, is I look at my Facebook feed some days and I get sad because I see my friends are losing family members and loved ones and things that just happen. I mean, it's nothing, death is nothing new. And it's not happening more so now than ever. But when you see those constant posts and you keep seeing it, it's sad. So we have to pray for each other, pray that we pray for those families that are bereaved, pray for those who are dealing with COVID, pray for our workers who are having to get up every day and go out there in this stuff. I have a sister who is an RN in Georgia, and they are having a heck of a time. So all of our first responders, I have a daughter that is a firefighter. I have friends that are firefighters. And pray for the family. They just lost the chief who passed the other day. Pray for everybody. Just pray for each other and keep us all lifted up and take care of stuff. So let me quit preaching, y'all, because I get emotional, and I don't want to get emotional right now. So I want to keep my cool. So let me move on. So housekeeping before we get to the wonderful show, and this beautiful lady sitting over here waiting on me to shut up. If you have not already liked our page, please go over on Facebook and press that like button and follow us. And I think there's a way for you to get alerts if you want to know when the shows are coming, or when you see me post that we're going to be going live on whatever day. There is a little button that you can click inside that post that says get reminders, because I want to make sure that you're able to see the show. And if not, you miss it, hey, it's still on every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Just go to our Facebook page or go to the YouTube channel and you can check out the current video and the old ones. And if you're on YouTube, you'll click that little bell and that'll give you notifications and let you know every time we post a new video. Whew. Now, on to what we came here for. Thank you all again for tuning in tonight, and I have a great show for you. I have a wonderful guest. I think she's arranged for me to talk to my other buddy that she works with before, but I don't think you've been on the show before. So let me first just welcome Miss Deborah Mitchell. And Deborah's going to talk tonight about the King Kennedy Awards dinner. So I'm going to do a brief introduction, and I'm going to turn it over to her because she has some good information to share with us. And I want to hear it, and y'all need to hear it too. So let's see. Deborah Mitchell is the current president of the Arkansas Democratic Black Caucus, an official auxiliary group of the Democratic Party of Arkansas. She is also a member of the Candidate Recruitment Committee for the Democratic Party with a mission to find candidates to run for local, state, and federal office throughout the state. A graduate of the University of Oklahoma, she is an active member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., life member of Jack and Jill of America, Inc., and St. Augustine Catholic Church. She is also a founding board member of the Arkansas chapter of New Leaders Council, a nonprofit leadership development organization that equips young people with skills to run for office, manage campaigns, and create startup businesses. We need a show on that. We like to come
back. Okay, we can do that.
Yes. Oh my God, she is not from here. Born and raised in New York, she has been a resident of North Little Rock for over 30 years. Okay, you are officially from here again. And she and her husband Dennis have two children, adorable grandchild. Welcome, Miss Deborah Mitchell.
Yes.
I'm so glad to have you in the lounge tonight. You want to share just a little bit about yourself, a little bit more about yourself?
Oh, I think it's well said there. You know, I've been living here in North Little Rock for over 30 years, and Arkansas is our home. And but I think everything is said there. I'm passionate about politics. I'm passionate about voting, and I'm doing what I love to do. You know, you follow what you love to do. It doesn't feel like work. Well, sometimes. Especially around King Kennedy time. It is work. It is work to put together. And I'm just happy to be here. Thank you so much for allowing us to come on here. My counterpart today, Mayor Ethan Dunbar, who serves as our first vice president, was going to be on today because we've been tag teaming, doing these promos for the show. He serves as our chair. And unfortunately, duty calls. And as a mayor, he has to adhere to what's going on in his city. And as you alluded to earlier about the weather, he's had some water main breaks in his city. So he needed to address them. He thought that he can get them resolved. But so a mayor's work is never done. He's part-time, as he says, but the work isn't. So he's committed full time. So we're lifting up the people in Louisville, which he is the mayor of, which is the southwest part of the state. And he's doing a lot of work down there and a lot of work to be done. And so right now he's trying to help the constituents who have no water at this time. So he would be here otherwise.
Oh, well, we appreciate him saying folks are good. Now, one thing I do want to mention about him, so I was excited when you said he was going to be on with you, is that he is the first African-American to be elected mayor of Louisville, right?
Yes, he was part of that cohort of people who were running, African-Americans that were running for mayor. And he was one of those that was elected and made history in his city, along with Mayor Scott and a slew. From my understanding, 55 Black mayors in the state of Arkansas. There's an association of Black mayors, and he's an active member of that. And that may be something, another show
Well,
that you could do featuring some of the Black mayors.
Look, I already got that one.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I'm working on that.
Good.
Yeah, when I saw that, I went, oh, wow. So, and it's Black History Month. And, you know,
right.
I want to make sure that we recognize him as being one of the first African American mayors of Louisville, Arkansas.
Yes.
And I was trying to figure out where exactly is Louisville. And I went, you know what? It's so many small places and little towns in Arkansas that you hear about, but you go, is that a real place? I had to look it up. So
yes, it is. It's not far from stamps. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so it's southwest, southwest of here. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So that kind of gives you an idea. And he serves, this is his second time chairing the King Kennedy. So he was he was excited to be able to be a part of it. So we got a lot of things that are different this year because of COVID.
Well, I'm going to have
you want me to go right through it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to have him on because I do want to really talk to Black mayors who have made history in their towns like that. That is amazing to me.
Yes.
We talk a lot about folks in our family. Now, I have a cousin who was the mayor of a town. Actually, two cousins, to be honest with you, were mayor of the same town. And I have a great aunt and a great uncle who were mayors of their town they lived in. So the one of the mayors of Gould, you probably know Essie Capleton, is a cousin. In Gould, and she was mayor there, I think, years ago. Mm-hmm. And then my great uncle and great aunt were mayors of Mitchellville, Arkansas, for a time. It's been some years ago.
And I know where Mitchellville is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then my husband's side,
well, good.
His cousin is the mayor of Grady. So I was like, we got mayors in the family for some reason, which is odd, but. Yeah, but I'm proud of all of them because they got out and they're really sincere about helping their towns and helping the people in the towns to do better and to get more stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, we came to talk about the King Kennedy Awards. So talk a little bit about the history and just tell me about the organization.
Okay, well, we'll start off with the Arkansas Democratic Black Caucus. We are, auxiliary of the Democratic Party. There are 7 auxiliaries that are part of the state party, and we were founded in 1982 with the whole mission is to help get African Americans elected or appointed to office, whether it's local or federal, state, either one. So our mission is to just help get them elected. We bring voice, the African American perspective to the party. So we address the concerns and needs of our Black Democrats. And basically we keep the community informed about what's going on. We stay on top of issues that impact the African American. And we make sure that people understand and we get people to vote. But from 1982 until then, this is what we have been doing. And it's still, the mission is still very much a part of driving force of what we do. So this year, we're trying to prepare for 2022. Our focus will be on local races. So you'll see, our members will see that we are really pushing and advocating for African Americans to build that number up of 55 to get more people to run for office on the local level. So that city director or city council, it can be a school board, and then go into the county level to quorum court and any of the county offices. We want to start there because we can get the greatest impact. And that's a good starting ground to get people who maybe one day want to run for a statewide office. Many times most people look at and they think about the state legislature as an opportunity to run for office or the only, but there's so many areas in which we can be a part of. And when trying to educate people, we'll have some sessions where we kind of understand what local government is and how it impacts your life, and then also county. And because sometimes people say, well, they complain all the time about maybe their roads, and they think that they run for state rep, that's going to solve the problem, and it's not. It's really, you could just run for run for your city, become a city council member, and then really build and get your experience going, and then you can go on to look at different offices. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing, and of course, educating people and getting people to register to vote. So that kind of gives you an idea about what we do. So we and
no, I said
yes, that's our priority. That's our priority.
I think we got just a little bit of delay. Can you hear me?
You're going a little bit in and out, but I'm gonna try to pick it up.
Okay. That's all the time. I'm scared that internet is gonna get a little wavy on us tonight because of the snow. You snow people cause this, but anyway. But yeah, that is a big thing, is to get people registered to vote. And I like the part about the education, because one of the things we talked about earlier, and I think it was last year because it was before the election happened.
There you go. All right. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I just saw my internet. It's kind of wonky. Because of the weather.
Oh, and now whatever happened, they cleared you up.
Yeah, it did. It'll come right back up. It'll come right back up. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
We blamed it on these snow people.
All right. Yes, we'll send the snow people a text after the show.
Okay. Now talk about the how did the King Kennedy Awards come about?
Well, back in 2005 is when it first, the first King Kennedy Awards program came about. It was a dinner. Still, some of the organizers of the King Kennedy are still around. They played a big role. They wanted to do something to highlight and bring and honor people in the state who have done great things on behalf of the party, on behalf of their community. And it started that way in 2005. And then the first year, the honorees are the namesakes of what we have today. So in 2005, Senator Irma Hunter Brown was being recognized for her at the King Kennedy dinner. And after that, they just named the first honorees, the award after the first honorees. So fast forward to now, we continue that drive. We changed the name a little bit from the dinner to the awards, but they still go the same. It's not every time is it going to be a dinner. Like 2021 is not going to be a dinner. It's all done virtually because of COVID. I will say that in last year, we barely made it. We were hearing about COVID, this virus, but we really didn't know it to its extent. We were fortunate to be able to have a dinner or have the awards right before coronavirus came and took it all away and made us change a little bit. So the show must go on. We're not going to let COVID stop us. We felt the need that there are so many people out here in our community doing great things, and we weren't going to let this pandemic stop us from recognizing it. So we did things a little different this year. It's all going to be virtual. It's still going to be a show. Everything is being pre-recorded. We just finished, matter of fact, we finished recording most of the interviews, the remarks from our honorees on Saturday. It was really, really cold. It was really, really cold. We've done all of our entertainment and everything. We reached out and tapped young people to really be a part of the program. And so we're hopeful that we'll have this great program to showcase our honorees, but just doing it in a different format. So I'm going to share a little bit about who we have this year. And I want to go through the selection process first, because some people may not realize that the community is responsible for making the nominations. I have nothing to do with the selection. No one, or Mayor Ethan, he doesn't have any say into it. We have a form in which people are required to fill out and just share why this person should be. So there's 5 different categories in which someone can be nominated. And so then we have a selection process. We gather all of the nominations. We had about 70, somewhere in the 70s. Yeah, it was a lot. And we have a selection committee that gets together, and they make the selection. And I really don't even know who are nominated until the winners are announced, because I don't receive the nomination. But I don't have them, and so I get the lists, and then we go from there. You know, I get the nominees. So for our first award, it's called the Irma Hunter Brown Women's Leadership Award, and that's being awarded to Dr. Danielle Crutchfield Cummings out of Little Rock. She serves as the Director of Assessment and Accountability with the Little Rock School District. The Thomas E. Patterson Education Award is being awarded to Dr. Jeremy Owawa from Little Rock. He serves as Deputy Superintendent of Academics and School Leadership right here in the Little Rock School District. For Annie Abrams Community Service Award, this year goes to Miss Maria Bunting Smedley. She's a lawyer here, but she is Vice President of Human Resources and Corporate Strategy for Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation. And right now we care about them, right? They keep our electric on, right? And then keep the lights on. And then for the Jerry Jewell Government Leadership Award, it goes to Mr. Ted Davis out of Pine Bluff. He is the Jefferson County Election Commissioner for Jefferson County, and all the work that he does, because Jefferson County is a real challenge right now as far as being able to get people's votes counted. So he has endured a lot in his role there, making sure, fighting for voters' rights and civil rights for people in Jefferson County. And then our Calvin King Economic Development Award, that is a dual award. Two people were nominated together for this, and that's Mayor Cedric Williams. He's the mayor of Forest City, and then Representative Reginald Murdoch out of Marianna, Arkansas. And they put together a package in which they were a grant in which they were awarded. It's a economic youth initiative where they employed youth in the St. Francis County and were able to get some real work experience during the summer, being paid like $10 an hour. That was before minimum wage was raised. So it's a great initiative. It really helped the people in that community, help youth to really get an understanding of work ethic. So we recognize them for that initiative. And so those are our 5. And then also there's what we call the President's Award. And that is recognizing, this year we recognize 3 individuals for their commitment to working in their community to help get people elected, get people to the polls, get Democrats. Mind you, we are a partisan organization. So this is an award that ultimately I select the people, but I don't do it by myself. I have I reach out to people with trusted voices and who are great influences that help me to come up with this. And this year, we're recognizing Camara Seals out of Pine Bluff. She's a community activist and organizer. She does a great work. She was on the forefront of Black Lives Matter. She's always advocating for people to vote in her community. She gets people to run for office. So she does a great, her body of work is phenomenal. So we wanted to recognize her for that. And then Dr. Assad Khan, we went northeast to Craighead County. He really just took over the Democratic, led the way in helping to build the Democratic Party there in his county, and galvanized and got people together, got people to run for office, help work. So he's done an amazing job organizing by himself, but he helped lead it and got people to be more involved and doing things to bring excitement to his community about voting. And our last one is Markeith Cook out of El Dorado in Union County. He's a community advocate and a campaign strategist. And you can't run for any office in El Dorado without talking to Markeith. Wow. Basically, he is Mr. El Dorado, and does a lot of work working in his community. So we wanted to recognize him for that. Mm-hmm. So that sums it up on who we got. We have a lot of people that we're recognizing.
Wow. Now, I know Kamara was on my show. This was before election time last year, I think. And we talked then a lot about her work in doing Black Lives Matter and organizing people and getting to the polls. So I know that she has been working. She's been working hard.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard. So
I recognized her work for quite a while, but yeah. Everybody, I remember Dr. Owa was the principal of my youngest child's school. When she was
Which one was that?
When he was at Fair.
Fair, yeah, yes, I remember he was at Fair. I too. I remember when he was at Parkview. When he's a teacher at Parkview, and I was taking my daughter on a tour. We were trying to figure out what high school she wanted to go to, magnet school, and saw him, and I came out. I was like, you got to go to Parkview just to have that.
He is wonderful.
I was impressed with him. Yes, he is great. He's great. And then went to Pine Bluff. I mean, he's been all around Jacksonville. He was in the Jacksonville Special School District too. So he's been around.
Well, congratulations.
So we got a great group.
Oh, yeah, you have a wonderful group of honorees. Congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to anybody who was even nominated. Because that means that you're doing something that people are actually recognizing what you're doing. And that in itself is an award, or reward. So I'm glad that you had, that's awesome that you had that many nominees though. That's saying a lot.
Yes, it is. It does speak volumes to all the work. And it's not that if someone wasn't selected, they weren't doing the work. It's that it becomes very competitive. And but to continue on and keep trying. Not everyone gets it on the first try. Sometimes they got to be nominated again, I'm assuming. So, but this year we are going to pre-record it, but we are going to stream live on Saturday, February 27th at 6 p.m. via our Facebook page, the Arkansas Democratic Black Caucus Facebook page, and our YouTube channel, so people can connect there. We are going to be streaming from Hearn Fine Art Gallery in Little Rock. They're a past recipient of honoree for the Calvin Klein Economic Development. It's a Black-owned business, and this is our fundraiser, basically. So it's free. You don't have to pay to watch it. You can watch it there. As an added piece, we're doing an online silent auction. So this is new. This is a new concept where we have a platform. You just click and you can bid on items that are on the auction. And we're featuring Black-owned businesses. It includes everybody, but we really are featuring African-American businesses and services. So if you have a Black-owned business and you're, because it's hard times out here and you need some exposure, this is a great way, because once you click on, if you see something that you like, you click on there, you get to learn a little bit more about the business. Their information will be on there. We'll have a directory of the items, and then there'll be items that you can buy immediately, and there'll be, of course, items that you have to bid. So we have an array of products and services, handbags, clothing, Greek paraphernalia, a lot of gift certificates to food establishments, and services like tax services, health related services, workout if you want to get in shape, we have those for just to try it out. And this is all going to be in part of our Black History Moment to kind of embrace and promote Black-owned businesses.
That is awesome.
So there's a lot.
That's awesome.
So we're excited.
Yeah. Now I'll be tuned in.
We are excited. And let me think of what else. you can, another way that you could sign up, like you said about liking your page. If you like the page, you automatically get having events. You can also say that you're going, because we have an event set up on our page, and that's a great way to be reminded.
Uh-oh. Internet is tricky, y'all. So I think we lost it for just a second. We were talking about the Arkansas Black Caucus, the King Kennedy Award. So don't go away, because I think we're just having a little bit of internet problems, and she might be back on in just a second. Again, I blame the snow people. There she is.
Here we are. Here we are.
Snow people.
There you go.
Snow people. I lost you for a second.
And probably I had everybody in this house.
Yeah.
Everyone in my house probably is using some sort of electronic in my house right now, sucking up all of the internet.
I'm gonna turn that stuff off.
I know.
Yeah, but it's still but yeah. But that's wonderful, because like you said before we lost you for a second, that gives those businesses some exposure. It gives people, more reason to watch it, because everybody likes to bid on a good product or service. So that's awesome. That's really good that they're going to be able to do that with their businesses. But the other part of it is, it is virtual, because COVID has forced us to change the way we do just about everything. So I'm glad you switch with it and do virtual. That way nobody misses anything. It's streaming live. It's free. We can all tune in. And you said February 27th at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
6 o'clock p.m. 6 p.m. And we also, too, with part of King Kennedy, we award scholarships to deserving college students that attend one of the 4 HBCUs. We've been doing that since 2012. And we're still going to do it again today. We're still going to do it again. So we're awarding a $500 scholarship to a student at Philander Smith College and at UAPB. This year's recipient is Gabrielle Brunfield who attends. She's a senior at Philander Smith, and then Chastity Garnett out of UAPB. So both of those young ladies will receive a scholarship, and it goes to, for their studies, because, expenses for college is still very high. So we wanted to do our part to do that. So we give it to any deserving student. You just have to be a resident of Arkansas and attend one of the 4 HBCUs. So that's our commitment to education and our commitment to our HBCUs.
Okay. Well,
that kind of gives you some idea. Yes.
And remember now, this is one of their fundraisers. So, please tune in and take advantage of the silent auction to help raise the money to get those scholarships. Because, like you said, college, even though we're in age of COVID where everything is virtual, tuition hadn't gone down. Tuition has not
followed. They have it there.
Online training. It has not gone down. So any little bit.
And if anybody,
go ahead.
I was going to say, if anybody wants more information, Wanda, you can reach us at info@arkdemocraticblackcaucus.org. That's my email address. Or you can go on our website for more information, and that's ARK Democratic Black Caucus.org. And we have information there. So we're still taking donations.
Exactly. And like she said, this is a fundraiser. So make sure, if possible, tune in, take advantage of the silent auction. Not only help them raise money to be able to do the scholarships, but help those businesses. Like you said, times are hard right now in the midst of COVID, and a lot of brick and mortar buildings are closed, and a lot of people are having to switch to doing online business or to marketing their products online. So make sure you tune in and take advantage of the silent auction. Now that's what I'll be doing. I like shopping, so
Right. It would go.
I'll consider this, well, I can have dinner on my own, but entertainment and
Right.
shopping. So make sure that you
Right. Right.
took Saturday and do that, because this is going to help people that are going to college. It's going to help them with scholarships, and also going to help the
Right.
organization continue to provide, the education and service that you all are doing. So let's talk a little bit
Right.
more about what the caucus does, as far as what's the
Okay.
mission, and then tell us how we can get involved.
Okay, yes. Anyone, even though it's Arkansas Democratic Black Caucus, you don't have to be you don't have to be Black to be a member. It's open up to anybody, long as that you believe in the mission of the Democratic Party. So let's put it that way. So a general membership is $25, and we also offer a lifetime membership of $150. And we, as a member, you do get like a membership card. For lifetime members, they get a lapel pin that tells them that they are a lifetime member, which of course I'm looking at myself right now going, where is my pin? I forgot to put it on. But we have meetings monthly. We've been doing it virtually, of course. But when you come on, and you can come to our meetings, whether you're a member or not, but so that you can find out what it's all about. We meet the second Saturday of the month. This past Saturday, we had a forum. We usually have a panel discussion of some sort. And this past Saturday, we had some panelists from Georgia, because we still had Georgia on our mind. How did Biden win in Georgia? So we talked about how Georgia went for Biden, and then also how they won the 2 Senate seats. With Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock. So brought in a representative, the COO of New Georgia Project. Her name is Kendra Scott, and she came in and just gave us a whole big discussion about how they did it in the changing of the infrastructure with Stacey Abrams. Then we had 2 young ladies from the Blue Institute. It's a training ground, a training institute that helps people who want to work on campaigns. It's targeted to young people to get them involved on how to run a campaign, do the groundwork. And they spoke about how about the Blue Institute, but also about how they've been instrumental in helping Georgia. Both ladies worked for the Georgia Democratic Party. Ashley, who's the founder of the Blue Institute, was the chief of staff for then Minority Leader Stacey Abrams. So she knows she was right there on the ground floor, helping to build to what people see today. But the whole thing is that it took more than 10 years. It took about 10 years for them to do this. Wow. And then rounding out our panel was a Little Rock native. His name is Perrin Bostic, from Little Rock, went to Jackson State and then moved to Atlanta and became involved as a young man. I mean, he's not even 30 yet, and got involved with local politics, helped a council member there win a race with 15. It was like 50 million people in that race, and prevailed through the runoffs. And now he just accepted a position with Senator Warnock to work in his work for him, and he'll be starting really soon. So he gave his perspective on it. So it was very engaging. We had people from all over the state come in and listen and take notes on what we can do here to galvanize and mobilize people to be involved and to vote.
Yeah. Well,
so it's pretty good.
And learning more about, I guess, everything. I'm nosy. I want to know everything. But like I said, one of the big conversations we had last year was educating everybody, because there's so many people. Yes. You said something earlier about making sure, starting at those local elections first, and then teaching people how to run for office. And that's one of the things I think that we don't do a really good job of, is that we sort of end up with folks running just out of chance, rather than us having, a way to teach people more about it and then get them ready to run. So that when we do have people that they're known, they've gotten the experience in the community, we've seen them on the ground doing the work, and then now you can go and vote for them comfortably. I think sometimes when you see that pop up on the
Yes.
ballot and you've never heard of this person, or you going, okay, I don't know where this person came from. I've never seen them in the community. I never heard them doing anything. And
Right.
you don't know. I mean, and it's very disconcerting because when you vote for people that you have a relationship with, whether you've ever met them in
Right.
person or not, you vote for people based on what you've read about them, seen, what you've seen them do in the community. If if they've been active or not, you want to vote for that person because now you know that if I see your name on the ballot, you got some, let's put it like this, you have some street cred. I've actually seen you do something. And when you look at the ballot,
Secret.
yeah, and when you see the
Right.
names pop up and you going, oh my God, who is this person? You want to vote for people, but you don't know them. So I like the fact that you all are educating the community. Not only are you saying, okay, if you want to run from office, here's how you do it. Here's how you run a campaign. Here's how you do all these things. But also that you're teaching us, okay, here's what you should be looking for. Because I think a lot of times
Right.
we don't understand that it's so, so very important for us to vote in the local elections. We miss it. We wait until, okay, I'm only voting for the president. Well, what about your mayor? What about your
Right.
city directors? What about your aldermen? What about your councilmen? What about your school board? What about your county clerks?
What about your school board?
Yeah, we don't pay attention to those particular races.
Right.
And you're wondering why one part of this is all working well, but why is this part all messed up? Because we didn't vote on all levels of opportunity. So that's the thing that I was talking to
And you can
Terry Hollingsworth about last year and Kamara about we have to educate us on how to vote, and we have to educate on how to develop leaders. So yeah, I'm very interested I want to learn all that stuff. So like I said, I'm nosy.
Well, come on in. Come on and become a member. Just come on in, come and join. First, come and join us on a session and see what we're doing and learn how you can be involved, because all that the King Kennedy we do, it's our members and volunteers for that. We do a lot of, like last year before COVID, we did a lot of forums, especially in the Pulaski County area. We had all of these judges, judicial candidates running, and people just didn't understand who are these people. So we did a lot of forums for that and did a handout so people can see who they are. You can tell the lack of education in what you were saying about people not voting for people they don't know. They skip over that race. And you can tell when you look at the election results, when they give you what they call the undervotes. An undervote is that particular voter did not vote in that didn't select anybody in that race. And an overvote, it means they pick both. If there was two candidates, they picked both of them. So undervotes are extremely high. And the reason why it's high, because people don't know who are the candidates. So name recognition is important. Getting out there and touching the voter is important. Knocking on doors is important. And it was very hard in this COVID environment to go and talk, walk the door to door. And phone banking is important. So in this state, we do need to improve our reach to voters. Some people just not engaged. Their lives are busy. And what we find is that people worry about the top ticket, but you really got to worry about the bottom ticket, because if I know that my church member is running for city council, I'm more likely going to go to the polls to support my church member, and I'm going to bring some people in and get them to go to the poll than worrying about who's on the top ticket. So if we can get more people of color to be to run for those local offices, they will be more involved in the whole process. And then also educating also means involving making people aware of how their power is in their vote. Most people think that, my vote doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I vote. It does. And we've seen it over and over again, how close. Just look how close President Biden won Georgia by 11 votes.
Wow.
11,000. It's like less than 11,000. That's a close. Here in Pulaski County, we've seen where it was one vote that made the decision whether a person won an office or not. So they're getting closer and closer. So every vote does count. You know, Dr. King said the most important step a Black person can make is take that short step to the ballot box. It's those things that are important that we need to see, and educating people to understand that. They may not get it. It doesn't really matter, but you have to do it through the issue and sometimes not the candidate, if that makes sense. Voting, you know, if you care about education, you care about your health care, you worry about being able to feed your family, you want to see minimum wage increase, those issue-driven purpose, those issue-driven is what will help make people go to the polls. I'm going because I like this candidate because they are going to help raise minimum wage. And we've seen it over and over again, what brings people to it, especially people of color, and especially young people.
There's a couple of
so
people
we do need to get that.
Yeah, that I love when social media has commentary. I read the news, read online news and different sites to get information on different things. And I'm one of those people that if I don't understand something, I will Google it, or I'm going someplace and figure out what it means. If I got to go on the government website and look it up, but I want to make sure that I understand, because you have a lot of bills that come out. You know, a couple of weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, we were looking at the bills for Stand Your Ground. We're looking at all these different bills, and sometimes what gets thrown at you is the name of the bill, the SB whatever, the number, and you're going. The average person will not know what that is, and I'll be honest, most of the time I don't. I'll go to the legislative website and then look it up. But there's the other part that is how many people don't do that, and sometimes the way things are worded on the ballot. You think you're voting for something, but you're actually voting against it, and vice versa, and it gets people confused. So making sure that before we even
it's intentional.
Exactly. So making sure before we ever get to the point where we're getting ready to vote, that we are very clear about what it is we are voting for and what are we voting against. Because for the last couple of years, one thing I do for our family, and that's just, I told you I'm nosy. So all of us live in a different precinct. My husband and I, we have 4 adult children, but everybody lives in a different precinct. So some of the things that they're going to vote for, like I'm in Benton, they're in Little Rock and Alexander and other places. So I go and I pull everyone's ballots to see what's on their ballot. And there's something that I feel like I don't understand. I know they're working and they're busy and maybe they don't have time to go and research it. I'll research it and take a picture of it and send it to them. Well, hey, this means this, and this. This is really what this bill means. So that when they're going to vote, they're not going in blind. They're not going in trying to figure out, well, if I'm voting for it, am I actually voting against it? Or am I voting for it? Or what is, because the wording is so ambiguous. The wording is just so confusing on some of the bills. Who wrote this? And did you even understand it when you wrote? I
know.
I kind of feel like they write it
right.
So I try to do the research.
They do.
So I try to do the research and give it to them. So when they walk in, I do not tell anybody how to vote. But I will do the research on the candidates and say, okay, this one is about this one is about whatever. This one does this, but maybe this part is not quite right. Because sometimes nobody is going to feel everything that you want. You know, there's not a perfect candidate, but there are some that are closer than others. So sometimes you get into
That's true.
The lesser of the two evil kind of situations. And you have to go, well, now this one's is kind of, but now this one is a little bit less, So I just make sure that they have
those are like the ballot initiatives.
Well, we just try to
like the ballot initiatives you're referring to.
Exactly. But those are the ones that's the part that's probably the most confusing. So just doing that research ahead of time so that they at least understand here's what it means. So when they walk in and they get ready to vote, they're not confused.
And that's good. That's very good. We need more people like that. And I was just going to just mention, you know how you said that you can go and look up their ballot for them? You know, there are actually some counties in which you're talking about a sample ballot, right? So you'll look up the sample ballots for Saline County. You'll look it up for your family in Alexander, and because everyone has something that's different, so they'll know when they go in there. Do you know that up until recently, sample ballots weren't always published at a site in certain counties? So Representative Andrew Collins out of Little Rock sponsored a bill to rectify that. So that would help people because you were able to look it up, but there are some counties where you can't. The sample ballot will be posted 5 minutes, right when you go into your voting precinct, but it wouldn't be somewhere where someone could look up. So that bill was very helpful. So that now, I think, I can't remember the number of days because they changed it a couple of times. I believe it's going to be between 20 days, 20 to 15 days. Anyone can go, whatever county they live in, can go on the voter view. And because that's probably how you use voterview.org and be able to punch in your first name, your last name, and the date of birth. And they'll tell you where to go vote. It'll tell you where your early voting sites are, and tell you where your precinct is, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it'll say, and you click the hyperlink, and it'll show you your give you a sample ballot. But that wasn't that was a luxury. That's a luxury for us in where we live, but not every county would have that. So now moving forward, we will, and that will help with people understanding and seeing it. Especially before you go in there, you want to be able to make sure that you're voting for the right person. So, or the person that you wanted to vote for.
Yes.
Yeah. So voter education is important. We try to do that. We did a voter's guide this past election that was digital. Our plan when we sat down in January, it was like December of 2019, we had made this commitment that we would do a voter's guide, a printed version, because we don't have, not everyone has access to the internet or read social media like maybe you and I do. They needed to have something hard copy in order to find out who was on the ballot. And so we had envisioned to be able to print this and then distribute it out statewide. But because of COVID, what we did is we continued with a voter's guide, but we had to make it digital. And we were asking people, please send this or read it and make sure that your family knows, because there was really three ways to vote. Most people didn't understand absentee balloting. So we had to educate that on that. And then also, would it be safe voting? So a lot of hurdles are made, and the struggle continues, but we will still persevere and get people to understand the power of voting and how to vote. And the first step is getting people registered to vote.
All right. Well, that is awesome, ma'am. I love it. I love it. And I will be contacting you. I will be getting involved because, like I said, I'm nosy and I want to know how to do stuff.
Right.
And that'll be a show. We'll come back later on and we'll do a show because, again, we have to get people educated. We have to get them empowered, and we have to encourage them to do those things that are going to help our community by becoming educated voters and understanding what's going on. And it's our civic duty. We have to do that. So, all right, we got a couple of seconds left. So real quick, just say when the event is again and how people can join in.
Yes, sure. The 2021 King Kennedy Awards will be Saturday, December. All these months together. February 27th at 6 p.m. And you can log on to our Facebook page, which is the Arkansas Democratic Black Caucus Facebook page, or on our Arkansas Democratic Black Caucus YouTube channel. Either way, tune in at 6 p.m. and in the safety of your home, you'll be able to be entertained and also learn more about online, shop online in the safety of your home.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Deborah. I appreciate you coming on tonight. We'll keep Mayor Ethan and Louisville and all of Arkansas
Yes.
in our prayers, because we're all going through a pandemic. We're all snowed in together. So keep everybody in prayer. We thank you all for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. You got some information that's going to be useful for you. You can join us every Tuesday night here at 7 o'clock in the Ladies Lounge. We're always on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you go over and like and follow the pages and hit that notification bell on YouTube so you get new videos every week. So thank you again. Stay warm, stay safe. If you do not have to go outside, don't go. If you do, make sure we're still social distancing, washing our hands, wearing our masks. Watch out for our neighbors. Watch out for each other. Turn your lights off, y'all. When we get finished, I'm turning off all these lights. I won't get in trouble. But turn off these lights. Turn that thermostat down. Leave the water dripping tonight. No more. We don't want to burst the pipe. Leave the water dripping tonight. And then I hope y'all already cooked. So if you haven't, go in there and cook right quick. And make sure you cook enough for a couple of meals. That way you don't have to keep doing it. But just take care of yourselves. For you snow people, continue to enjoy your snow. And watch out, because I think we're supposed to get some more. But be careful. God bless the folks that are having to get up and go to work in this stuff. Thank you for our first responders, our police officers, our city people who are taking care of our roads, our state folk. We continue to thank you for what you're doing. We pray for your safety. And y'all take care of each other. I love you. And I will see you again next Tuesday right here in the Ladies Lounge at 7 p.m. All right, Ms. Deborah. Thank you so much again.
All right.
All right. Stick
around.
Thank
you so much for the invitation. See you then. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.